Well, town of Marshfield, it's June 23rd, and I'm standing in the main lobby at Marshfield High School, and just want to say to you, it's moving day. And then you can see the boxes behind us. This is my final video that I'm going to shoot prior to our great celebration that's going to happen on August 8th. I want to invite the entire community. August 8th at 10 o'clock in the morning, we're going to have the ribbon cutting for the new Marshfield High School right out on the front lobby of the front steps of the high school. And I want to invite you to come and take part in that. The ribbon cutting will happen at 10, and then about 1 o'clock and going from 1 to 8 o'clock that day, we're going to have an opportunity for you to actually walk through the building, come and take part as our MHS ambassadors, students who have been selected to help us guide and direct people through our new high school. We'll guide you on a guided tour and give you a chance to see all the great and wonderful things that I've been talking about for the last 3.5 years and that you've been watching on video. So we're going to take you on one final walk through the building. I do want to thank all that joined us last Wednesday night for our turning out the lights ceremony at the old MHS. It was a great night for alumni, great night for all as we brought down the flag and turned out the lights on that lady and put that lady to rest. And so it's exciting times. It's moving day at Marshfield, and let's take a walk through the building so we can show you where we're at. We've taken a trip now down Main Street, and we are outside the James P. Romeo Library Media Center. We're going to take you inside our library so you get a chance to see our new digs and our new place that eventually will be, I hope, a hub of learning and a place that our community can also come and get a chance to see library media service at its best. As we're walking through, I'm going to take a trip through. You can see we're ready to roll. If we had to open school today, we could. I would tell you that it would be rushed and we wouldn't be put together, but we could. We finished the project about 9 weeks ahead of schedule, which we're very excited about, and that's given us the opportunity to move into this place to get all of our furniture in. About 80% of the furniture is in the building at this time, and we start technology integration on July 7th with the anticipation and expectation that the technology should be done by August 1st in the building. You'll see as we walk through that all of the pieces that have been put together, the color schemes and how this works with that, all of that has come to completion. We haven't punched the building out yet, so you'll see that there's spots on the wall that still need to be painted and there's work still being done, but certainly we're in a great spot right now as we transition to the new high school. We've walked up onto the second floor now, so we're on our STEM floor. This is our science, technology, math, comprehensive health, our computer science, and all of our technical education pieces are, there's a collaborative space that's housed here. It's also a spot where you can see my assistant principals getting moved in because we have an assistant principal on each of the floors. So as we walk through, we'll show you a science lab, we'll show you a couple of math rooms, you can see our rooms that are coming to completion. All right, we've moved into a physics lab now. Again, you know, we've been through this, so you've seen each of these spaces, but you're really starting to see these pieces starting to come to fruition. You can tell the furniture in the room. These lab tables are on wheels. They actually slide to the lab pedestal so that this room is really a flexible space. So, you know, you can sit this and use this in a presentation format. You can slide the tables over for a lab format. These tables move so that we can do a lot of cooperative work and a lot of collaborative work as we look at what we do in that regard. You can see the technology wires and everything are set. Again, our technology starts to come in on July 7th. So where you see those arms, those are monitors, and the PCs are actually held underneath the cabinetry inside here. Some of the unique things that we really did as we planned these rooms, if you look at the floor, you'll see the green tick marks along the floor. These marks here are actually part of our teaching station. We do a lot of measurement, and you know, when we do our velocity labs, our mousetrap car pieces, all of those things, these tick marks are actually measured out so that they can do precise measurement on the floor and use the floor as a teaching station. So we've really looked at all aspects of the classroom experience to try to make certain that our kids have the opportunity to use each and every part of this classroom as part of the educational experience. Our labs are 1,440 square feet. Physics is on the second floor. As part of our STEM piece, they are stacked on this end of the building, so on the third floor is where you'll find our biology and chemistry labs. We've moved down, we're still on the STEM floor, but we moved down to one of our 4 computer technology labs. You can see how everything's organized with the data and everything running on the outside walls of the room. our kids have the opportunity to come really into a student-centered classroom. So they'll be working on their computers here. There'll be a couple of tables in the center of the room so that they can get together to do collaborative work, and at the same time, obviously everything is set up so that the technology is fully integrated into the experience. You'll notice these black chairs. These black chairs run throughout the building. This is the chair that our students actually chose through our mock classroom experience. And so this was the chair when we finished up that our students thought was the best and most appropriate for our classrooms. You'll notice it's a little bit unique. It's got a little bit more lumbar support, got a little bit of a rock to it. It is actually a very comfortable chair. And we're excited with the fact that our kids had an opportunity to be part of that experience as well. Okay, so I wanted to take a chance to show you a classroom. This is a classroom on the third floor. It's either an English or a social studies classroom, but I really wanted to spend some time to just walk you through the what a classroom looks like. This is a standard classroom at the high school. You can see our new desks are in. They sort of look like a stealth bomber. We call them the stealths. They are designed this way and are used this way so that a student can use both textbook and technology at the same time. So if you can envision, textbook can go on one side, laptop or your tablet or whatever you're using in reference to your one-to-one piece on the opposite side. You still can have the opportunity to move around. The other thing is inside underneath, there's a book bag hook underneath. So you can hook your book bag. So when you come in, you can tuck your book bag away. They're great for collaborative work. You can see this room is set up in groups of 4. You can set these up in a lot of different ways. We've seen them in 6s, we've seen them in 8s, we've seen them in 16s. You'll also recognize in the back of the room the 2 tall high-back desks that each classroom has 2 tall high-back desks. These desks are actually designed so that students that have attentional issues can actually sit on those desks, and there's a foot pedal on the bottom of the desk that they can actually move. That they can bounce their feet on, that allows them to move and not disturb the class. So we're using, there's 2 of those in every one of our classrooms, just to give kids a different opportunity, a different seating structure. There's 28 seats in every classroom, and we're organized that way. You can see it pretty much so maxes out the room. You can see the interactive projectors up on the wall. This is our short throw projector that goes with our interactive whiteboard. Every classroom has a teaching station that looks like this with a teacher desk. All of our teachers are using a Lenovo Yoga as their main piece of their technology. So their technology is portable, moves with them to and from school, moves with them throughout the complex. The complex is fully Wi-Fi accessible, so anywhere in the building they'll be able to attach and be able to connect to the network via Wi-Fi. There's a second teacher desk in every classroom. Main teaching wall is the wall with the interactive whiteboard. Every classroom has a secondary whiteboard. That's the secondary teaching wall. On the back of the wall, you can see our storage units, file cabinets, and those pieces. Every classroom has an electronic pencil sharpener, so know that we have electric pencil sharpeners inside the high school. And then obviously the window wall, which is used for storage. So we've put a lot of time and energy into designing the classroom so that the classroom is effective from a lot of different standpoints. It's a collaborative classroom, so that we're really focused on that 21st century skill of how do we collaborate, how do we create problem solvers and individuals that can critically think and collaboratively think. And so that's one of the things that's really focused in the building. And I think you'll see that when you get your walkthrough on the 8th. Okay, we've I stayed on the STEM floor. We've come down to our presentation area. This is the area that seats 80 people. You can see the data jacks. This room is really close to completion. It's got some painting pieces that need to be completed, but the windows in the back of the room have electronic shades, so we can darken this shade. This room has the potential for us to have 3 or 4 classes come together to view a movie, to see a person give a presentation, for us to do a collective lesson, for us to bring in a guest speaker, someone that wants to present to our students or that we need to present to our students. It has full sound, so there's a full sound system. You can see the mics actually inside this auditorium actually are there to pick up questions that might come from the back of the room. So they're supported and hung from up above. Has the same interactive technology that we have in our classrooms. The difference here is that it goes from this small board onto a large screen that drops down, and that's done through the projection unit in the back. So we can do for example, we could do a chemistry lesson here and do some demonstration down here on the whiteboard. And while we're doing the demonstration down here on the whiteboard, it's showing on the large screen so that everybody can see it. This is a space I think that's going to really be used collectively by our faculty in a lot of different ways. During the school day, obviously there's the opportunities that I spoke about. In the afternoon, this will be a spot that Key Club might meet, or Student Council might meet, or some of our athletic teams. Hockey might come in here to watch video, or football might come in here to watch video. So a lot of different opportunities that we can use this for. And then in the evening, the community will access this, I'm certain, for certain meetings and things of that nature. So we've left our academic areas now. We're moving into the large spaces in the building, and just walked you into our new auditorium. Excited to say, mark your calendars, October 12th. It's a Sunday night at 7 o'clock. We're going to open the auditorium with a celebration concert. We're hosting the Plymouth Philharmonic, and they will be doing a show with alumni and some of our students involved in playing and taking part in the program, focused on our town. We are Marshfield, and so we are excited about that opening concert on October 12th. The auditorium sits 800. You can see they're doing touch-ups all over the place, and they're finishing this piece up, but sound system's in, furniture's in, all of the video pieces are in. This is directly linked to our TV studio, so anything that happens in here we can live shoot from here back to the TV studio. We can send that out through MCTV out to the community. This area is linked to the gym, so if by chance we have rain and inclement weather for graduation, we can do a simulcast of what's happening for graduation inside the gymnasium right here in the auditorium. Fully air conditioned, and just one of the signature pieces to our new high school. I commented at the turning out the lights ceremony that the class of 1970 graduated from the auditorium that you couldn't find inside our current building. That's because it was Furnace Brooks Auditorium. They just called it the Marshfield High School Auditorium. Well, this is the Marshfield High School Auditorium, and it's a showcase piece for our new high school. Just walked down next to the auditorium. We're actually behind the gymnasium now. This is our multi-purpose room. This is an area that's right next to drama. It's part of our visual performing arts, so we can do dance in here. Wouldn't it be great to have an offering during the school day of dance for our kids to take part in? But this is also part of our phys ed curriculum, so we can do Zumba, we can do Pilates. We currently are using yoga and using yoga in our classroom, so we can do those pieces in here. Doubles as a wrestling room, so a place that we can do our wrestling on, varsity preparation or something like that. It's not large enough for our entire team, but for a small scale practice, they could do something inside this room. The mirrors are, you see the mirrored wall. We actually have mats that go up and stick on the Velcro on those walls to protect those mirrors when it is something athletic in the room. And full sound system inside this space as well. So if you're doing the dance piece, put the microphone on, bring the Zumba instructor in, and you can come in and have some really outstanding opportunities that way. We've been having conversation, won't happen next year, but long range, the opportunities inside this building for adult education are significant as well. And so next year we're just going to get used to the place, but the year after we'll be starting to explore some opportunities. So wouldn't it be great to be able to take a dance class at Marshfield High School, or to be able to take a Zumba class at Marshfield High School as part of our adult education program? Those are the things that we're thinking long range as the new facility just spurs on brainstorming and different ideas. So we've come down to, now we're in the back corner of the building, back down by student dining. I really wanted to reflect this. You've seen this room, but they're starting, you can see this is our staging area for all the furniture. So the furniture comes into the student dining area and then gets moved throughout the building. The signage that's in here that's up, from everything from our soup, salad, and sandwich line, our S-cubed sign, all the way across to our ramble through our grab-and-go area, all of the signage was designed by students. So had a team of about 12, 14 students from our student council who sat and talked about each line, talked about what's offered in each line, and then they came back with some ideas and thoughts as to what we should call those lines or what those lines should look like. So, our daily dish is our main entree line. Obviously, the pizzeria is where you get your pizza, which is a focused piece of what we do at MHS for lunches. Initially, they would have loved for it to be called Famous, but unfortunately, that's been marked in town, so we couldn't do that. And the ramble through, I thought, was really a creative way of just coming back to your snack line and your morning breakfast line and things of that nature. Cafeteria sits about 390 people. It's got high back tables on the outside, and then regular seated tables on the inside. We're the first model to go away from using those stooled chairs that most school systems go with because it's easy to clean. We actually made a conscious decision to put chairs in our student dining area because our students really said, you know, the other piece was really, I'm going to use their term, it just wasn't human enough, and we want to be human. This is an important piece for us. So chairs with the tables and high backs on the outside to give it a restaurant feel as they come to student dining during the day. We've walked into our new athletic facility, so we're inside our gymnasium, and important pieces, you can see our wood floors in. Our wood floor obviously has, this ram is pretty impressive, so just know when you're up on top on that walking track and you look down at our ram, our floors look great. And again, another spot that we had some student input on, you know, what we'd like to see in the floor. You'll notice when you come in, like the foul line areas, our basketballs. I mean, we did some research on what floors look like, you know, looked at some things that we really thought were great. Color schemes, green, black, and white throughout. But there's some real functional pieces, too, that you can finally see. So in the rafters here, you can see the hoists that are up. These long gray pieces are our mat hoists for our wrestling mats. So currently, you know, in the old high school, you'd come in and those wrestling mats would be at one end of the floor, at the other end of the floor. People were climbing all over them. People were beating them up. Kids were playing on them. Kids were jumping off of them to dunk basketballs, all those things. That doesn't happen in this facility. They get rolled up, they get stored up above, so that the mats actually are not even part of the experience of a night basketball game because they're already in the hoists. The smaller hoists that you see up there are for our cheerleading mats, and you'll see too that the batting cage is directly above us, so we have an interior batting cage for baseball and softball in here as well, so that we do that piece during the spring that can take part. Now you might ask yourself a question, batting cage with wooden floor, how does that work? In our current setting, you know, that hard rubber you could bounce anything off of, but on this you'd mark the floor up. We actually have to buy a mat or a pad that goes underneath the batting cage so that when they take batting practice, the floor is protected. We also bought a floor covering that covers the entire gym floor, so when we do events like our Pops concert, or if we had if they moved or needed to run town meeting inside of this area, or if they needed to use, if we made a decision to come inside for graduation and put 2,000 chairs in this room, the floor is covered with a vinyl cover that takes care of the floor. So we've looked at those pieces to try to make sure it's multi-purpose and at the same time that we protect our investment. We've walked through our gym now into our fitness center. This is an interesting piece that's part of our new curriculum that we're using at the high school. So physical education has shifted significantly. We have a life sports piece, we have a competitive games piece, we have a yoga and Pilates piece, and this year we'll actually be offering fitness and training. And in this classroom, during the school day, kids will be able to come in and actually learn the appropriate ways to use free weights, barbells, all the different pieces, be put on a fitness regimen, both cardio and the weight training piece that goes along with it. This also will be a second piece for all of our athletes. So our coaches, we actually had our first training in here a couple of weeks ago. So all of our coaches have been trained for strength and conditioning. In long range, we'll be looking at a strength and conditioning setup, so that hopefully we have someone in here who can work with all of our student body on this being a place that they can come to really spend some time on health and wellness. This is open only to faculty. People have asked, is this a community piece? It's not. There's a lot of liability that goes into a space like this, and it's really not meant to be the YMCA. This is meant for our students and our student athletes, so it's not open to the public. We've continued in our large spaces now, but we're on the other side of the auditorium, and we're moving down into our third collaborative space. So we have our STEM on second floor. We have our humanities collaborative group on third floor. On the first floor, near the auditorium, we have our visual and performing arts group. And we're actually in an art classroom. This is a 3D classroom. You can see we're excited with some of the pieces that have come in. So we have all of our turning wheels in here. And you'll notice that there's this wall here sort of separates this from the classroom. So we can throw our clay here and actually work on our sculpture piece here. And when we finish doing the sculpture piece, there's actually drains in the floor, so we can actually wash this area down without carrying that dirt and all the rest of the stuff to the other side. It's designed that way. You can see the large sinks that are in this area for our cleaning and putting things together in that regard. Art's been a major component of our educational experience for a long time. One of the few communities that really has made a commitment to art, music, drama, theater. And the level of expectation in our programs is significant. So routinely we'll have 11, 12, 15 students who would be recognized for Boston Globe Art Awards, as well as Congressional Art Awards. Just got back from my middle school trip. Shout out to my 8th graders, had a great time in Washington. But while we were there, I actually got a chance to talk with Congressman Keating, who has one of our pieces of art on display at the Capitol building. So, the work that we do here is having profound impacts across, really our country. And it was exciting to see some Marshfield art on display at the Capitol building. So, this is one of our art rooms. We have 4 of them in the building, and some significant changes. We've left wet photography, and in here we have a full digital photography lab. We have a full music theory lab in this building where our students can actually spend time really writing their own music, creating their own music in a lab that's guided and directed and designed to produce that type of experience for our students. We're now on the back side of the building, and we're going to finish up our tour by us just walking you through some of our comprehensive areas and some of our technical areas. This is our computer-assisted drafting classroom. This is where we do all of our architectural design and things of that nature, Architecture 1, Architecture 2, and is really the foundation for the room that's right directly behind it that's attached to it, which is our robotics lab. So we have a computer-assisted drafting piece that's attached to our robotics piece. We have an engineering lab that's designed in here so that we're going to spend time this year working on the curriculum for an Engineering 1, Engineering 2 applied physics opportunity. And I'm going to walk you through into our robotics lab. You can see the 2 of them are connected by this windowed wall, but inside here is actually, so you design it on that side, and then you can start to build it and build our robots and build the different pieces that go along with the engineering phase of a technical area that I really look forward to us jumping into. One of the creative things or different things you'll see, there's 2 different tabletops here. So we have a wooden tabletop and we have a metal tabletop. These tables come with that because of electric discharge, and so some robots you can build on the metal table, some you have to build on the wooden table. So there's a lot of different pieces that really go into the fine-tuning of an experience like this. And we've spent some significant time looking, saying what's the best way and what's the way to maximize the potential of this room, and at the same time equip our kids with the best opportunities possible. So you'll see this correlates directly with our engineering shop, which is at the other end of the hallway. This double set of doors is put in this room specifically so that the robot, when complete, a robot can go out this double set of doors and not have to worry about movement. We can actually get it out through the garage doors in the engineering lab. So there's potential for us to move things to and from and out of the building. Long range, we'd like to see us start to get involved in the first robotics competition. We have some of our technical education teachers actually got certified in submarine development this year, so we can do a whole piece with the marine fabrication component of engineering as well. So you can see we're doing some professional development on the outside in preparation for using this facility, and I do think long range these are going to be great opportunities for kids. Again, I'm going to talk to you about some of our technical areas and some of our opportunities for kids. Alumni would talk about their experiences at the Ramble Inn. Well, the Ramble Inn is actually not replicated here in the new high school. Replicated in the high school, or what we have in the high school, is the MHS Cafe. We're moving to a really profound change in that we're doing both front and back of the house restaurant management inside of Marshfield High School. So this will be a full-fledged working restaurant. It'll be open to the public probably Tuesday through Friday. We're working arrangements right now that we'll be able to have agreements with the senior center, with other community groups, so that they could rent and come in and have a meal catered for lunch inside our facility. There's an outdoor experience. There's the MHS Cafe outdoors as well as indoors. This is also going to be open for breakfast this year for the first time. So it's open actually 3 blocks of the day. Now, there are questions that are always out there. So the seniors are asking, is Ramble gone? Yes, Ramble is gone. The Ramble experience is gone. What we will do as we get into the school year is we'll open up the MHS Cafe once a week, probably I'm guessing on Thursdays, that a homeroom will actually have the opportunity to come to the MHS Cafe for lunch if they'd like and so choose to do. So, for example, the second Tuesday in September, homeroom 212 will have the opportunity to come to the MHS Cafe that day if they'd like to come and purchase lunch. One of the things you can't do in this room is it's a restaurant. So this isn't a spot where you bring your brown bag lunch and eat. You wouldn't walk into into Famous and sit down and eat your brown bag lunch. All right, you go to Famous, you order a pizza. Here you eat what's on the menu and you order what's on the menu. So it's a little bit different focus, and you'll see why as I take you through from here into our restaurant labs, because we've moved right into a full-fledged culinary experience for our students. So we're working on articulation agreements with Johnson & Wales, Newberry College, some of those culinary institutes, so that our kids can actually matriculate right from here to one of those experiences at the secondary level. Again, walking you through our technical areas, this is our manufacturing shop. So in here, again, one of the themes that you'll see through manufacturing, marine fabrication, and our engineering labs is that we're really looking and being focused on the design format and the design process. We clearly have had industry people tell us that that's what students need to be familiar with when they come out of this setting and move into whether it be a career path in a career setting or move directly into some post-secondary opportunity that then leads to a career path. So in here we'll be talking about design format while doing our woodworking pieces and the things that we've done in the past. In our marine fab piece, we'll still continue to build kayaks and continue to build canoes, but when we look at those pieces, we're really talking about what's the design process that's in place in that regard, so that we're providing our students the opportunity to get ready for the work world. We've now moved into marine fabrication, and as you can see, the doors, the glass doors, give us the opportunity to move boats in and out, and things of that nature in and out. I've shared earlier that we're working with Mass Maritime and trying to work with Massasoit. Massasoit's looking at bringing a marine school of some sort to our local community, and if they are to do that, we would partner this program with them so that there'd be an opportunity for kids to actually go through marine fab and to transition from marine fabrication into that 2-year experience at Massasoit that eventually could work with something with Mass Maritime. So a lot of different opportunities, and I guess I would say to you, those are, that's the key, is that, as you build something of this nature, it's really looking at what are the experiences that kids have now, what will they be next year, and then what will they be in the future. We're now in our engineering lab, and again, just wanted to just highlight some of the pieces that are in here. So we have a 3D printer experience in here, so students can actually design something 3D and actually print it out and present it before they actually get into the creation, manufacturing, and making of those items. This used to be metals many years ago. We've transitioned that to plastics, and now we're moving into engineering. And so you can see as the evolution of those majors and the skills that our students need just to be competitive in the 21st century required us to move in this direction. All the equipment in here is used to design those pieces. That'll be part of our engineering curriculum. Again, this is a spot that'll work hands-on with the robotics piece, and then with our applied physics piece coming out of our STEM department to really form a really cohesive interdisciplinary opportunity. we've continued on, and we're in our telecommunications studio, actually. So you can see behind me is the green screen. Sort of laughing for those who have a little history. You remember What's My Line? Used to watch that show with where they'd put something behind a person who was commentating, and he had to try to figure out what it is. We're the first high school in the Commonwealth to have a green screen, and our green screen is here so that we have a ton of different opportunities that can really expand our opportunities inside our telecommunications program. And so this green screen will give us a chance to put whatever displays and things behind the presenters, people that are presenting whatever the curriculum might require. And so we look forward to seeing this opportunity being used in our facility, and to seeing what chances or how it helps our program to grow. There's certain areas in the building as you spend time putting something like this together. I've been at this now. This is my 4th year working on this project, and so excited for August 8th, so excited for September 3rd to have our students in this facility. You get a chance to start to think about just spots that there'll be a natural progression and opportunity for places to grow. And I think telecommunications is one of those spots that I think we're going to grow because of the depth and breadth of our studio that we've created. Our digital media lab is extensive. This here piece is a significant focus. The fact that we're connected with community television inside the building. All of those pieces have just significant opportunities for kids, and I see kids gravitating to them. Just like our culinary experience, just like our robotics and engineering experience. All of those experiences designed for kids, but designed with an opportunity to really grow opportunities for students. And so we look forward to seeing those pieces sort of play out the next few years. Marshfield, we finished our final building tour. And again, I want to say to you, I hope to see you on August 8th. Please come for a tour, 1 to 8 o'clock that night. The ribbon cutting will happen at 10 o'clock that morning. I'm right here, right on top of the M is where the ribbon cutting is going to happen. On August 18th, we'll have... We've put out to the community that we've been raising money for a RAM. Our RAM fundraising project is close to completion, and our RAM will actually be here on August 18th. We'll be dedicating that at homecoming this year. So this is going to be we just concluded a year of making history. Now we're going to start this year with making history all over again. And just a reminder from the closing out ceremony, it's a new place, but really what matters is the people, the echoes in the hallways of the alumni that have walked before, the teachers and students and principals that have come before, and the teachers, students, principal, parents and community that are going to walk these hallways and create new memories that will echo for the next 50 years. It's been great being able to share these video pieces with you, and we look forward to seeing you on August 8th. Thank you, and have a great, great, great summer.